G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Dirt Road Home. You can see behind me in the last episode our roof was completed and finished off, and now we've just set up a little temporary downpipe here to run down and drop into that rainwater tank. Like it's only a temporary solution, but it's just to catch a little bit of water so we don't have to top that up from time to time. We've been carting water in. So now in this next couple of episodes you're going to see things like windows, cladding, doors and everything going on, roller doors, getting the house to lock-up stage. Alright, so thanks guys, watch a couple of the bits and pieces we're going to do in this episode, just pottering around the house, and then we'll catch you in the next episode. Show you the gun carpenter we got on site here. Say good day, Will. Hello. He's come all the way up from Wagga, my nephew, and he's sleeping in this van over here. This is his temporary accommodation, but yeah, he's basically helping out, doing a few bits and pieces around the house, which is good. Good to have an extra pair of hands. See the garage. It's actually starting to look like a garage now. We've got all the bits and pieces that we started to pull out of the container over there. We're probably going to send that back so we can get this garage locked up and start building a bit of a workshop where we can store materials and bits and pieces and things like that. So these are all the little bits and pieces that are happening behind the scenes while we wait for some of the windows. But there's plenty to do. There's, you know, packing out of window sills, straightening of wall frames inside here, getting some of the bathrooms and things ready. Plumber's done his rough in. The electrician will be coming in next. But just, yeah, continuing on where we can, doing some bits and pieces. Alright, made a decision to pack up the van. It's actually coming into summer now, so it's quite hot. A couple of days that have almost got over the 40 degrees. Hey Lana. So yeah, being in the van, we're just roasting out here. So now that the house has sort of got the roof on it and it's partially undercover, we're going to stick that into the garage and then just sort of try and clad that and just wrap that up a little bit. So got a little bit of reprieve from the heat for a little while. The main thing I want to get done this afternoon or tonight is get everything out of the way that's in front of the caravan, so the gazebos. We've sort of packed up most of the annex. We did that this morning, like I mentioned. And then really it's just if I can get the truck in and reverse in. We've set up this temporary toilet that's here in the corner. I'll pan around that in a sec so you can see that. But that's probably the only thing that's going to be tricky to get around, so I might have to do a couple of manoeuvres with the van to sort of get back and up and around this little corner, then to get up into the garage. Alright, so let's get packing. There you go, we're in. So van's undercover and it's a little bit more comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep a bit of protection from the sun. Oh, should make things a bit easier. Little luxuries in life. And it worked out pretty well too, because we designed it so that it would just fit in the garage. So once a roller door comes down, we've probably got about 300mm clearance here and about 500mm clearance at the back, so you can still sort of walk around. good timing. We just ran down to the last little bit of water in the tank, so the guys are here now to fill it up, and we're on our last little bit of water in the caravan tanks as well too, so like I said, perfect timing. One of the cool parts of moving the van into the garage here now is it just sort of frees up a bit of space on that side yard where we were. I'll show you what the kids have set up out there. It's a pretty fun little slip and slide. But you can also see behind us they've started to move in, so while we're waiting on our windows, the kids have decided to bring their desks and chairs into each one of their rooms, which is good. It's good for them, but it's also going to mean I'm going to have a big clean up in here when we need to finish off some of the rough-in and some of the other bits and pieces. You can see here we've got some lounge chairs in the lounge, you know, surfboards, all sorts of stuff. But check this out where the kids are out here. This looks really good. Nice. The only thing with that is they can't have it on for too long because we've only just finished topping up the tank and it's draining it quite quickly. So give them a little bit of fun for an hour or so in the holidays, but yeah, time to cut the water off. They're not going to like that. Alright, so there's heaps of water there to last. There's a bit of water in the end. You have to grab that in the bucket and put it down the slide. Don't turn this back on because you're wasting too much water, okay? See that?
What's this? Dad, what's this?
You've already used close to a foot out of the top of it in one day.
Okay, what's this?
Alright, go. Very good. So there's a few little things that we're doing around here while we're waiting. We're going to be wrapping the house in some cladding wrap. You've seen us starting to do that. The other thing is just general sort of yard work. We've got some trees and things down over the place that need to be sort of tidied up. So you'll see me head over there in a sec and actually start chopping one of those trees down. I've got a pole saw and a few things that I need to get in there with. But yeah, just general sort of maintenance, you know, keeping the grass down, whippersnippering, line tripping, all that sort of stuff, like all around these edges here. Need to tidy all that up. All the things that we're doing prior to waiting for windows. Windows next. The one I'm really looking forward to is that pole chainsaw. That's going to come in handy for getting in there and chopping up that big tree just to get in and knock some of those limbs off. It's on a bit of a slight embankment, so I'll show you that in a sec. So this is the little area now I'm coming across just to cut up some of this old tree branch that fell down. You'll see here behind me that one of the limbs have dropped off this tree here. And so I'm just going to get the little pole chainsaw in there, give it a bit of a tidy up and just try and basically get all that, clear all this back out. So I'll do that now. Now that I've cleared all that shrubbery out from around the bottom, I can get in and cut this off. I've got the little pole saw here I'm going to put together and then just take it down and create a bit of a burn pile just over here in the paddock, slash around it, and then one more thing tidied up around the property. So that was pretty interesting. In the process of chopping this tree down, I've determined what was wrong with it and why it came down. Thing's full of bloody termites. Come down, I'll show you a bit closer. So now with that said, I'm gonna have to check this whole tree out. We go right over it. It looks like a cluster of trees all grown there together anyway. So what I'll do is go have a look, see which ones have got the mud trails on them, start chopping away. Should be fun. But the good thing is, trees down here, house is right up there, so it's still a fair way away, but still might be worth having a chat to the guys at Termi Mesh about it and just see what their recommendations are. Project I'm going to tackle now, just to get rid of our little outdoor toilet that we had set up here temporarily. Basically, when we had our caravan here, this was our little outdoor toilet, and now again, just going to move this so we can make way for where our stormwater line comes through. So that's where the old spot where we had the van set up, the old AstroTurf. Kids have now got it for a bit of a playground with their swing. But yeah, now I'll pull this little toilet apart and project number 2, move it into the house. Now this is what you call a loo with a view. How good's this? Might just leave it like it. This is our new location for where the toilet's going to go. Again, only temporary until we get all the lining and the cladding and everything finished off outside. This is just basically in the garage. You can see where we got the caravan. Hello, Alana. Hello, girls. Bit of a mess at the moment, but and again, yeah, just temporary toilet, temporary door we're going to put on there, and then once that's set up, again, cladding, lining, and then we can finish it all off properly after that. So yeah, let's put it back in. Just like that, a little temporary toilet's finished. Got a door, got some lights. Luxury. We had our sewer guy come in the other day to do our check of our tank. We have to come in like every quarter just to make sure that the chemical is okay and the sprinkler system's working. But when he got down here, it's been raining so much, have a look at the grass behind me. It's like a Amazon jungle. Couldn't even see where the tank was. So I've got to get in now and give that a bit of a brush cut, and up around the top up there as well too, where the sprinklers were. You can probably see in one of the other episodes just how clean that was, and now look at all the lantana and everything just growing over that. So yeah, a lot of work to trim all that up now and see if I can rediscover where this tank was. You can see I've cleared around the tank there, and now I'm going to go up and tackle around where our sprinkler system is. Glorious day here in sunny Queensland, so a great day to get amongst it. Alright, so you get the picture of how overgrown it is up here. I'll see if I can show you where these sprinklers are. I've managed to find a couple. If you look down in here. So the good thing is I've managed to find where the end row is. Now all I really need to do is slash up to that and then work my way along. They're probably about every 2.5 meters apart. So if I can just find one, clear the brush around it, then I should be okay. Once I get this mulched and clean again, then I might set up a fence around it and then we can just tractor. Alright, managed to uncover the top, middle and bottom, but there's one more row. I just look back at the photos, there's 4 rows of these sprinklers. So just got to get into that bush there tomorrow and finish that last bit off. So that's come up pretty good. Just got to go back and charge the battery now and attack the rest tomorrow. Alright, so I've just got word from the window manufacturer that they're 2 days off delivery, so exciting times are going to be coming out here very soon. But before that happens, I want to show you one more thing around the property that we're going to be doing. I've actually got the guys from Ventrac Tractors coming out. They're a specialised machine that can get into tight spaces and like steep slopes. And so we're going to give that a go around the block in some of these hard areas to slash some of the long grass. You'll see at the moment when I do a bit of a flyover with the drone, it's a little bit out of control. It's probably about 1 metre high, some of the grass. So we'll slash all that down and we'll get in, we'll do some stump grinding and we'll see what this machine can really do. So watch this space. Alright, so what Marcel's going to do now, we've got the trencher on the front of the machine, and there's an area where we're going to plant some trees. So we'll just drop a cross into the ground to break that up a little bit and see how the attachment for the trencher works. The great thing with these attachments, on the blade you've got one for hitting the stone, and you've got the other one which is more of a scoop for drawing it back, and then you've got the auger attachment down the bottom here which just pushes it away from the machine. So you can see there it made pretty light work of that ground, and that had a lot of rock in it because that was fill that we pushed out from when we cleared the house pad. I'll show you close up of what we're left with, and what we'll do now is just bust the sides of that with the crowbar, drop in some topsoil, and we can plant our tree there. So this gives you an idea of a bit of the angle that it's on. At the moment the digital reader is reading about 25 degrees, so I can still go an extra 5 degrees up to about 30, but that's quite steep when we've had a bit of rain, plus the long grass, they can slide around a little bit. The guys are doing really well through here. We've tidied up an area and exposed a stump, and what Marcel's going to do is come down with the other machine with the stump grinder on it, and we're going to grind that out. Alright, so the guys have just changed over to the stump grinding attachment. Just goes straight onto the front of the tractor. Now, there's a couple of features that go with it. I'll talk you through those and show you a bit of a close-up, but what we're going to do now is rip into this and take it down and just grind the top of it out.